Okay, this is the second play we're going to look at, or the next play we're going to look at. I believe we're looking at some illegal block below the waist action on the
Yes.
right side.
Yep. And that, so kind of getting ready for the play,
Yes,
we know we have a back here, and we're going to have responsibility for him going into the line of scrimmage for chop blocks.
right.
And we may have made a change in position for us here to be able to see the quarterback. Because
Okay.
the running
Yes.
back can be in our way here.
Yes.
So you have
yes.
to make a decision. Are you going to widen out and move up, or are you going to rotate around? I tend to go deeper rather than coming forward. I tend to go deeper, but you want to adjust to make sure that you can see, how he's clapping and whether or not he moves his head, jerks his head or whatever. And then we know we have, primary first key is that right tackle, but we also have an awareness of the alignment of the wing. And this is where we're running through our head. What are all the rules related to what this guy can do when he blocks below the waist?
Right.
And this is really a tricky one, because I'm of the opinion that he can't go low back toward the ball, period, unless this defender is lined up outside of him or head up, right? So the likelihood of him being able to make a legal block below the waist here is almost zero, because he would have to go inside to come back outside to not be blocking below the waist towards the ball, right?
Right. So hold on, let me clarify something before you go on. Is that because he is not, quote unquote, in the box, or do you not concern yourself whether he's in or out the box?
Oh no, I definitely concern. He's out, and we do.
Got you. Okay, so because he is out, that's the okay. Good. All right, just to clarify that. Okay.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
And then you're also thinking about from the side, right? So if he's, let's say that he's inside the pocket, right, or the tackle box, whatever term we're going to use. Let's say he's catching a piece of the tackle, I think is what people say.
Yeah.
He still can't block below the waist from the side.
Right.
Got to be from the front.
Yes, exactly.
So if the defender is lined up inside, how can he get to the front? He can only get to the front if he goes inside and comes back out. That's how I view it. And
good. Okay, so you're already you're preparing yourself for actions that he can for his future actions, and you already determined. Look, if this guy blocks inside, there's no defender on his outside that he could block. So if he blocks any of these, then it is most likely going to be a foul.
Yep.
Got it. Oh, that's cool. Okay.
But you also know you have time with him, because he's not the closest one to a defender. The tackle is.
That's right.
So on this particular play, getting back to like positioning.
Yeah.
On this one, I would definitely go deeper and inside, because then you'll make a better view to the tackle, and you'll be able to adjust for that running back being in your way. If you come forward, the wing here is going to obscure your view of the tackle.
What about moving laterally outside?
First engagement.
Okay. What about moving laterally outside?
Sure. Whatever gets you where you need to be.
Okay. Because I've noticed I tend to step laterally, and maybe I need to play with moving deeper instead of moving laterally. In a situation like this, when a running back is lined up on the right side of the quarterback, I notice that I step outside to have that more of an inside view. Okay,
so let me ask you this: where would you be positioned if this snap was at the 15-yard line?
On the goal line, same lateral position of the ball?
Yep.
I would be on the goal line, and I would just step a little closer towards the numbers.
And we would be communicating with our center judge saying, I'm on this line if you need to go somewhere else.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now then let's put the ball at the 10-yard line. Where are you lined up?
I would probably be in the middle of the end zone.
I'm on the end line.
Okay, so you are either on the goal line or the end line.
Yes, sir.
I
I
like that.
never am in the middle.
Okay, because you don't want to move
Yeah.
to find the line.
I want to know where I am, and I tell my center judge, I got this one, you got that one.
Ah,
But my
okay.
point is that we can officiate. I mean, shoot, you were a deep official. We can officiate from 20, 25 yards easily.
Yes, yes, we
Now,
can.
it means that in our pre-snap, we got to say, if there's action I need to close to, I need to get going a little bit quicker, right?
That's
I
right.
mean, that could be an adjustment, but it's no problem if you go deeper. On this play, you could stand, where would we normally be? On the 5 yard line? You could
Yeah,
stand on the goal line. That's fine.
right.
You can see everything you need to see. I'm just saying, get where you need to be, but shoot, no reason to stand on the 2.
That's right. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Might
Exactly.
as well just pick up that line and know I'm here. And
Right.
if I need to widen out or if I need to rotate, I've got this line. My center judge is up farther, so maybe he's on the 5
Yeah.
and I'm on the goal line. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
anyway, that positioning is, I've seen so many plays where being in the middle of the end zone doesn't help us, and then
Right.
you don't know what happened on the end line. I think the risk is too great. I'd rather be stationary.
I love that because honestly, being in the middle of the end zone is just because I would be aligned 15 yards, which really is an arbitrary
Yep.
distance, whereas a goal line is actually an important fixed line on the field, which is much more important than my arbitrary stance at 15 yards.
Well, what you just said is right on the money. On this play, if you need to adjust and go 3 yards deeper to be where you need to be, you're saying it's okay to be deeper than 15 yards.
That's correct.
So what's the max? Probably 20.
Right. Yeah, you probably don't want to get too farther than 20. Yeah.
I've been on the end line when the ball's on the 12, the 13, the 14.
Mm-hmm,
The 15-yard line is when I'm coming up.
Got you. Huh. I like that.
Anyway, all right, now
Okay.
we digress into the referee position.
Right. Okay.
right,
Okay, so
so-
we set up positioning. We set up the fact that we know where this wing back is lined up. We've already established that he is outside of the tackle box, or he does not have a piece of the tackle, or whatever verbiage you want to use. And we've determined the defender's position relative to the wing back. Anybody that he would block that is inside of his body, he will likely be fouling just because of the rules and his.
We need to watch it very carefully. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going into a play. I'm not going to think I would stay away from, if he does this, that's a foul. I would say I'm going to pay special attention because of his positioning.
Gotcha. That's a much better way. Yeah, because now you don't trick your brain into seeing something that you didn't really see.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, good. That's a good clarification.
So
okay.
then as it runs, and I would just say as I'm watching this play, okay, so right off the bat, I'm off the tackle because he does like a half a whole pull to his left.
Yes.
And the action I need to watch is the block by the guy that was a suspect from the beginning.
Right.
And this is a dangerous block.
Yes.
This is what we're trying to not have happen, which is a guy coming down on somebody's knee from outside. And that's what happens here.
Right.
Luckily, he didn't get hurt.
Right.
So the player in this case asks me, he's asking about, can't I cut? It's a cut block. Can't I cut?
Ah.
And so, the coaches and the teams, the players, they don't use the correct terminology. And I had to explain it to him that, okay, from that position, you've got to keep it at the waist or above.
Right.
And so on the TV break after this, which was some plays later, the coach asked me to clarify what the problem was.
Right.
And then he asked me at the end, because I explained it, and he said, well, what can he do to make it legal? I said, block him at the waist. That is a block that is a safety foul. We're going to call that every time.
Right.
You can move him inside and have him block out. You can put him in a position that then he would be blocking from the front.
Right.
which would be okay, right?
Right.
But never in that direction to his inside, which it inherently is based upon the angle that the defender takes.
That's correct.
It isn't up to the defender to put the blocker in a legal position to make a block. It's on the blocker's responsibility to get in position to make a legal block.
Right.
So the action of the defender doesn't make this a foul. The action of the offense does.
And that's an interesting point you made, because sometimes we'll hear people say, oh, well, he turned, the block was legal, but the defender turned at the last minute and it turned into an illegal block. What would you say to that on this particular play?
Angle of pursuit.
Right.
That defender is entitled to that angle of pursuit on this play.
Right.
And now the other one, and where is the approach of the blocker from? This is not from the front.
That's right.
And so the blocker that truly approaches from the front and the defender turns at the last second, that's an entirely different block than this.
Right.
And I would use that terminology. The defender is entitled to his angle of pursuit. He doesn't have to adjust his body to the block. The block has to adjust to the angle of pursuit.
Right. In this case, the defender is going in the direction of the blue arrow. The only way he could probably be blocked, and I don't like to use absolutes, obviously, in officiating, but the only way he could probably be blocked illegally is if his angle was more in this direction, if he was moving in that direction.
Yes, or if you put the blocker at the point inside the blue arrow, then he's coming from the front, right?
Right. If you move the blocker over to this side and then have him blocking in this direction.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. That's how the rule's written.
That's correct. That's correct.
So if you can erase the arrows real quick. Now draw an arrow in the direction of the blocker.
Okay.
Okay. Is that back towards the original position of the ball?
Yes, it is.
Foul.
There you go.
It's that easy.
Right.
And then if you drew one for the angle of pursuit on the defender, right? That arrow would be going. Yeah. Okay. So is that pink arrow in the direction of the blue arrow, but opposite? No.
Right.
So it's a foul.
Right.
It's from the side.
Right. Right.
So
I love that.
Anyway.
Very simple.
Yeah, it's interesting. And unfortunately, we struggle with an understanding of the terminology that we use when we say an illegal block below the waist. They say cut block, and sometimes cut block, they're referring to a chop block. So our communication with the coaches when we're trying to help them through these situations has to be very careful. And that's another example of think like a referee. Right. However your referee would handle this is how every official should handle this when a coach asks this question.
Right, right.
Don't leave it to me. It happened to be me in this case because I was the one that called it. But anybody should be thinking in these terms. The defender is entitled to his angle of pursuit. The block was clearly towards the original position of the ball and from the side, which is a foul, period.
There you go. Cool. Okay, so I guess to put a bow on it, I can find the end zone view. Okay, this is not really an end zone view, but it gives another angle of what actually happened here on the play.
I mean, that defender is clearly running inside.
Exactly, and this is just a clear and obvious foul.
Yeah, and I told him, Coach, it's a clip. It's almost a clip.
It is, correct. And that was the first thing I thought, and that was one of the questions I was going to ask you, but I guess it really doesn't matter in this case. Because they're both 15-yard penalties.
And I thought of that, but it presented more as an illegal block below the waist back towards the position of the ball than a clip. I felt that the blocker was coming from the side, not the back.
Right.
But it's semantics.
Exactly.
And you can another note here on the number, the way that they print these numbers, that looks like an 8 right there, doesn't it?
It does. It looks like 88.
I announced 88, but it's 86.
Wow.
See that now?
Yes, I do see it's 86.
If you just see, now it's a 6.
Right.